Welcome back, everybody. Now this. Hunter Biden could face 10 years behind bars as he is expected to be indicted on federal gun charges by the end of the month in the latest turn of events since the plea deal collapsed. That happened over the summer, as you know. Joining us right now to discuss it, our legal panel, former federal prosecutor himself, Katie Cherkasky, is here, along with attorney and former NYPD Inspector Paul Mauro. Paul, let's start with you. Surprised by September 29th, an indictment it was coming down against Hunter Biden?
No, because under the Speedy Trial Act, they have the information already filed on the gun charge, so they did have to move forward. The surprise for me is that they actually are going to try to resurrect this diversion deal. I feel like the diversion deal is dead, and here's why. The diversion deal language relies on the plea deal. We have two documents. We have the plea deal and the diversion deal. The diversion deal essentially incorporates the plea deal. Both sides agree the plea deal is dead. If the plea deal is dead, it takes the diversion deal with it. Without the plea deal being live in this case, the diversion deal makes no sense.
And the diversion deal said, hey, don't drink, don't do drugs, go to a gun class or something.
That's right.
And that we won't prosecute and we'll eventually expunge your record.
That's right.
Katie, your thoughts about this gun indictment, and then I'm just going to ask you, seemingly gun indictment, and then I'm going to ask you, where's the rest of this stuff? But go ahead.
Well, I think you're right. Obviously, the big question is here. David Weiss is supposedly looking into a large, broader scale of potential criminal misconduct by Hunter Biden.
Because he's got this new status now.
So we thought, or so we're being told. But this specific indictment is said to just deal with that gun charge. And like Paul said, it's because the Speedy Trial Act requires that that case actually be acted on. So we don't really have any information about whether they're actually going to take other actions against Hunter Biden for any of the other finance stuff that we all are kind of wondering about the status of at this point. So
they had to bring something because of the Speedy Trial Act, and they chose the gun. But as Comer goes through and finds $20 million now, he could get up to $50 million now. Does that affect what David Weiss is doing? Because that affects his tax charges. I believe if you make $50 million, you should pay some taxes. I'm a little old-fashioned on that, and we don't even know what that total is.
So let's take this to a really macro level. I'm not sure it matters, and here's why. Because their real long play here is the following. Just get past November 5, 2024. That's it. They'll file appeals. They'll drag it out. Doesn't matter. If Joe Biden wins, this is why Joe Biden has to stay there. I don't even think the guy wants to run. He certainly doesn't look like it, but he's got to stay there to protect the enterprise. You get past 5 November. He wins the election. He pardons everybody. He's already got it locked in. He won. What's he got to lose? If he loses, he's got nothing to lose. Still got 3 months to cut the pardons, and then he's out of office. So to me, the real play that they're going for, and they can't pardon him now because it'll look terrible. He could lose the election. To me, this is all about getting past 5 November with Hunter's case still alive without him looking at jail. Because if he's looking at jail, they're in real danger. He's capable of anything.
Katie, let's talk about Donald Trump. The latest attack on him is the 14th Amendment, and the Colorado Attorney General says, I don't think this guy is eligible to run because we believe he authored an insurrection on January 6th, even though he has not been charged on that. In Georgia, they said, no, that's not what we're doing. We're going to let the people decide. What are the chances of Colorado being successful?
Well, essentially, the 14th Amendment has a provision that says that anybody who has engaged in acts of an insurrection or rebellion is not eligible to hold the office of the president. So that's where that's coming from. But it's a very, very preposterous legal theory in terms of keeping Donald Trump off the ballot. We have to remember that Donald Trump has not been charged with any sort of insurrection or rebellion. In fact, Jack Smith, as far as we know, affirmatively considered that charge and declined to move forward on it. There's a failed impeachment on that front. So the argument is really left to say we don't need to have a charge or conviction. We can just interpret it as disqualifying him.
Katie, you seem logical in that statement, but liberal judges appointed by Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, might feel differently, Paul.
Well, what happened to the presumption of innocence? I mean, realistically, just because they've just conjured this word, insurrection, relative to Donald Trump, none of that has been adjudicated in the courts. And as Katie says, if anything, some of the proceedings that have occurred cut against that. He hasn't been convicted of anything that puts the insurrection word on him. This is a Hail Mary. At worst for Donald Trump, it goes to SCOTUS. They're going to knock it down, and we'll get on with it. And in fact, I think it's a bad play by the Democrats because it's going to make them look again like they're just trying something desperate to get him out of the mix.
You think there's also the Attorney General of New Hampshire, and that's going to be a primary that's going to be coming up soon. Will there be a temporary pushback on it? So we'll see. Guys, great to see you. Unfortunately, we have nonstop legal cases. We're going to get you up early over and over again.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.